What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video, well, we're gonna test this thing and see how much this ramp squats. And well, the reason why we're doing that is because we gotta hook up the ding-ding, gotta go get propane, gotta go get fuel, we gotta go get ready for the desert because it's desert time and we are leaving. By the time you see this video, actually, I'm already gonna be out in the desert, but we gotta get this thing ready to go, fuel it up. This is, again, guys, the most expensive part of the desert is just fuel, propane, fuel. It's never-ending fuel and filling this big pig up. And I'm curious to see the gas mileage now that I'm going to get. So when I get to the desert, when I hook this thing up and I get out to the desert, I usually have between half a tank and 3/4 of a tank. I'm right in between there, sometimes a little closer to half, a little more, but we're gonna see. When I get there, I'm gonna record it and see what it's at, if it used any more fuel, if it used any less, which probably it's not gonna use any less. It's probably gonna use a little more, but we'll see how that goes. First things first, gotta get in this thing, let her warm up. This thing, so I forgot the heater off like a couple nights ago in the garage, and this thing was telling me like, grid heat, please wait or something. Let's see if it does it. Oh no, doesn't do it. Oh, the heater was on. But it's weird, I don't know. It says like grid, please wait, and this thing counts down, and that's it. And all this construction over here and over there, it's gonna be a problem pulling the trailer out. I hope they're done because I need that whole lane to turn. Alright guys, now it's time to get some diesel and regular gas. And if you're wondering, that's how much our gas prices here are in Cali. It's actually pretty damn cheap, $3.55 and $3.40. That's, you know, probably the cheapest right now in Cali. If you go back up to like the Alpine where I live, it's like $4.15, $4.20. Also, a lot of you guys ask me, Eddie, why do you take gas cans with you when this thing has a fuel cellar in it? I don't take these with me, guys. So what I do is I fill them all up. You have about 5-6 of them, depending on, you know, how many or how long the trip's going to be and the group we're with, if we're going to do a lot of riding or not. I usually put about 20-25 gallons, and I put it in here. It just makes it easier so I don't have to hook up the big ding-ding and take her to the gas station. I just fill up 4 or 5 of these, gonna go dump it in there. That's it, we're done. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook this up, but we're not going to measure here, obviously, because this is not flat ground, but we are gonna hook it up. We're gonna pull it out, make the U-turn, and then park it at the end over there where it usually is, and then take the measurement of the truck with it off the ground, and then take the measurement with this fully, the weight down. Then we're gonna take another measurement on the distribution bars. A lot of you guys ask me, Eddie, does this, you know, take a lot of the weight off the truck? Does it actually lift it? You know, I don't know. We'll test it out and see. I know it does transfer the tongue weight towards the back, because what I notice on the hitch is when I put the weight all the way down on this, obviously you can see right here, see the gap right there? There's a gap. Now, when I hook up the distribution bars, the hitch, and put all the weight down on the ball, the hitch actually comes up like this. The weight is on top instead of on the bottom. You know, you're transferring the tongue weight towards the rear of the axle, which that's what you're trying to do. That's the whole point of these. So we'll see and test and see if it you know, does not allow the truck to squat as much. Also, we're gonna see how much air I have to put in the airbag to get this thing to sit level. If I gotta put any more or any less or the same thing. Right now I'm gonna fill the fuel up and then take it on out. All right guys, so we got the ding-ding out here, turned it around. The truck is sitting on now level ground. It is not hooked up yet, so you can see it is released. So we're going to measure both sides of the truck with the handy dandy tape measure here and see what we got and how much it squats. All right, we got the tape measure on the ground here. Call it, we got 44.5 on the driver's side here without the trailer, and let's see what the passenger side says just to make sure, because the driveway does lean a little bit, so it's probably going to be a little different, but let's just double check that and see here. Tape measure on the ground. So here it's 45.5. So the driver was 44, passenger is 45.5, so an inch difference. So right now the truck is leaning a little bit. So now we're gonna put the weight down without the distribution bars to see how much this thing squats. All right, bam, we got the weight completely off. Now let's take our measurement. I believe the last time it was, in the last squat test we did, it was 1.5 inches it dropped. So let's see what we're at now. So we were at 45.5. Now we are at 44.5. Let me make sure I'm straight here. Yep, 44.5. So believe it or not, it dropped 1 inch only with the Fox 2.0s, and the airbags are empty right now. There's nothing in these bags at all, which that's pretty good. Let's check the other side. Tape measure down the floor. So we were at 44.5. Yeah, now we're at 43.5. Well, that's pretty impressive, guys. Looks like it dropped only 1 inch with, you know, the Fox shocks and the Airbag. So you guys remember we got rid of the bigger leaf spring and put the Airbag in there. You can see the bags are smashed because there's no air in it. So I'll probably only have to put the same amount, 40 pounds in this thing, which is not bad. But now let's see what it does when we add these. So let's lock this, pull the weight off of it, and hook these bad boys up. I forgot to show you guys also before I take the weight off. So you guys see how the hitch right now, see how there's no weight on the top, on the receiver right there? There's that gap, and it's laying all the way down here. So now when we hook these up, that should come up and transfer the weight. Now there shouldn't be that gap there. All right, guys, we got the distribution bars hooked up now. Now we're gonna let the weight down on the truck. We're gonna measure it again, see what it was. So we lost 1 inch. All right, there you go, completely off the wood there. Let's get the tape measure and check and see. Let's see here, put it all the way down the floor. So we were at 44.5, then it went to 43.5. Now we're at 43 7/8. All right, so it looks like it did bring it up almost 1/2 inch with the distribution bars on there. All right, now let's check the driver's side here. Ooh, it smells funny on this driver's side. Put it all the way down there. All right, so we're at 45.5. This is at 44.5. Same thing. Okay, well, I'm guessing it has to do with the truck being leaning a little bit, guys. But I will say, look at this now. So you remember the gap on the top? See that? Look at the top now. There's no gap. Look at the bottom. See that? You know if you guys can see that clearly, but now there is a gap in the bottom. So that's telling me now all of the weight is being transferred to the rear of the axles. Now I'm gonna pump the airbags up and see how much I gotta put in these things to make it level. I'm gonna set it at the 40 pounds that I usually have it set to and see what it does. All right, we've set it to the 40 pounds. Probably not gonna hear it, but they're pumping up right now. So let's let these pump and go from there, see what it does. All right, guys, the airbags are pumped. Let's come back here. This should say 45.5. We're at, yep, 45.5. All right, well, let's go check the other side and we should be good, guys. So it looks like for all you guys that were DMing me asking me about how much more did it squat with this setup, it actually squatted less. So I believe it squatted 1.5 inches before. With this setup, it is squatting only 1 inch. This should be 44.5, and this is a little more than 44.5 here. So I would drive it like this because it's pretty dang close. And what's nice about the Airlift, the 7,500 bags, when you guys ask me, well, why didn't you get the factory ones? Because I like to, when I'm driving, if it's a little stiff or soft, you can pump it or dump some. That's what's nice about these bags, is they are fully adjustable. The ones that come with the Ram are not adjustable. Well, there you have it, guys. Believe it or not, I'm impressed. I thought this was going to sag a little more because the Duramax did. The Duramax, we did not do anything different. The only thing we really did was they put a block, obviously, to lift it. They did not touch the leaf spring, so I don't know if that made a difference. And it had the same airbags. But I know with the Duramax, I used to put it at like 40, 50. Then when I put the Fox shocks, I had to put them at about 70, 80. So I don't know, I would assume it's the Airbag that is in there that helped, I guess, keep the traditional, you know, weight rating in the back. I don't know how to properly explain it, but you guys remember I showed you they got rid of that one thick leaf spring and they put 1, 2, 3, I think it's 4 4 or 5 in there that add a pack in there. So I gotta say, guys, I'm impressed. It did good. So if you guys out there that are considering doing this kit and worry about the truck sagging even more, you know, towing, you know, whatever, a horse trailer, weekend warrior, whatever you're towing back there, you don't have to worry about it because it did not make it actually squatted less, so it didn't make it squat more. So I would assume the ride would be perfect. I am going to try it when we leave to the desert. I'm going to hook this up to the trailer with no air in it, and I'm going to see how the ride is compared to when it was when I drove this thing with the trailer when it did not have airbags in it. It was pretty, I'm not going to say pretty rough. It was smooth. The only part I didn't like is when I would hit a bump, it would continue, you know, to bounce like this for, you know, ever down the road. That's one thing I hated. So I'm gonna see if it still does it, if it still does it bad, if it still does it less. Maybe it's the same thing, I'm not sure, but I will let you guys know. But that's all I got for you guys. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to click subscribe. Peace.
Yeah.